Causes of an eating disorder. People who suffer from eating disorders have negative images about their bodies and themselves. They often find that controlling their body helps them to feel more in control of lives, their life. An eating disorder is rarely about food, it's about how people feel about themselves. Food is just a tool that is used for self expression. As mentioned earlier, people with eating disorders often struggle with anxiety, depression, and loneliness. I think that my eating disorder was probably an attention getter because I remember a lot of people knew about it. I'm a firm believer that if someone is doing something for attention, you need to give them some attention, but in a positive way. I would get a lot of you're just doing that for attention, but there was so much more behind it. It wasn't a look at me, it was a help me. It was just something to say that something is wrong. Marley 21. I think that somewhere I was maybe partially concerned about my appearance, but I don't think that was the catalyst of for what went on. I think it was more about control. Heather 23. There is some evidence that eating disorders are linked to genetics. If one of your parents or other close relatives have struggled with an eating disorder, your risk for having one yourself is greater. Living in our beauty-obsessed society can also make it hard to feel good about yourself. If your body doesn't measure up to the ideal, it's hard not to feel a little out of control. And it's not just girls who suffer from eating disorders. Between 10 to 15 of people who are diagnosed with bulimia nervosa are boys and men. Boys who participate in sports where they need to meet specific weight requirements such as wrestling are more likely to struggle with eating disorders. An American study conducted in 1992 revealed that 40% of fourth graders diet either very often or sometimes. Harvard Eating Disorders Center.